Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. What if I told you the only thing standing between you and your next big opportunity is your voice? This isn't just another program. Empower Your Message is your ticket to becoming the podcast guest everyone wants. You'll learn how to craft a pitch that gets a hell yes, show up with unshakable confidence, and drop truth bombs that leave hosts and audiences wanting more. No more playing small. No more waiting for permission. It's your time to be heard. Loud, clear, and unforgettable. Visit the link in the show notes to sign up, and let's make your voice impossible to ignore. The mic is waiting. Are you ready? Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Isabelle Zimmerman. She is a spiritual teacher, a soul guide, the creator of the Giant Leap course series and Ascension Now. Welcome, Isabelle. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Brad?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today. I am so excited and looking forward to sharing a little bit about your journey, your story, and the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do. With that being said, let's dive right into it.
All right, let's go.
What was the catalyst moment or experience for you that cracked you open to your spiritual path? And how did you know that this work you're doing now is your soul's calling?
So I would say the catalyst moment was really a series of moments, but I will tell you where I was physically when I knew I needed to hire a spiritual mentor. I had been listening to a podcast, and he was talking about his one-on-one program. And I was writing a young adult novel called Unseen Light, and I was in Meriden, Connecticut, and I was in a big hotel conference room with all these beautiful women writing romance novels. And I sat there, and there was a publisher and an editor, and it was a really good workshop. But in that moment, I knew I had to put down my book, and I had to sign up with this spiritual mentor. And what's interesting, it was about an hour drive from where I lived. And I left the workshop, and I pulled into a driveway, and my friend Tracy called me, and she said, "You're not writing the book anymore, are you?" And she was massaging someone. And so she's tapped in, tuned in. And I said, "No." I said, "I got to do this one-on-one program. Got to do it." And I called at the time my husband because it was expensive. And we really didn't have any extra money, like no joke. And we were raising a family. And I said, I was like, how am I going to explain this to my husband? Hey, I want to work with a spiritual mentor that has a podcast that lives in Florida. What? And he's, "Hun, how much is this?" And I'm like, "It's this much." And I said, "Look, getting a master's is expensive." There was a long pause, and I said, "I'll pay for it." I said, "I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, but I'll pay for it." I said, "I just feel like I really need to do this. I really need to do this." And so I called the guy in Florida who had a podcast, and he told me what it was. He channels, at the time it was, you write in questions and he channels an answer, and then you're on a live call when he channels live. And I said, all right. And I trusted that I wasn't going to starve and lose my house, which I didn't. And the money came, because that's how spirit works. You have to take a leap of faith, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But boy, are you scared when you do it.
Yes, absolutely. That is scary.
And so I signed up. I started the program on April 12th, 2017. And on May 8th, I was channeling Goddess Isis.
Wow.
And that was a really cool experience. So he didn't teach channeling or whatever, but at that point, because I was writing that novel and I had studied angels and quantum physics, I had that epiphany of there are 14.4 million galaxies, Brad, mapped by NASA now.
Okay. That's a hell of a lot.
Galaxies, not planets, galaxies. And the Milky Way has 2.2 billion stars in it, and we're tiny.
Oh, yeah, absolutely we are.
So when I was researching angels, I thought they were a Christianity thing, typical human, but I uncovered angel stories really everywhere around the world and in all different times of history of humans, Neanderthals to you name it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember having that moment. I went, what if, because I was studying dark matter and energy, dark energy, and all physics, particle physics. And I went, what if they're made up of different particles? What if they're light? What if they're light beings? What if they're not mythology? And then, so when the podcast of the guy from Florida came on and he said he was channeling non-physical entities, I was open to that idea because I knew the universe was way different than physical matter here on Earth. I was open to it. And then on May 8th, I really wanted to connect to my higher self. And I asked the guy from Florida and I said, hey, I'm going to try to channel. And if I write something, will you let me know? Joshua was the collective. And so he said, sure. And so at lunch, at work, I put bilateral beats in my car. And the CIA has been using bilateral beats. It's very well known, right? I closed my eyes and meditated. I set the intention I wish to connect to my higher selves in a being of light. And then I closed my eyes and I started to meditate and I saw yellow energy. I felt my third eye, like a pressure. And Brad, I was like, oh my God, I'm having a physiological experience. This is so great. Yes. And I just kept on going. And I said, do you have a message for me? And I heard, hello, my dear child. And I went, oh. And I said, do you have a name? And I heard Iris. And I went, oh, I love the flower of an iris. And then I heard, no, goddess Isis. And then I had chills like all down my body, like to my toes. And I was like, I just had full body chills. My God, it was so great. And that was goddess Isis, May 8th of 2017. And then when I was little, I asked my mother if I was Egyptian. And she's, Isabelle, you are not Egyptian. You are French and Polish. And I'm like, I think this lady's wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm Egyptian. And I was always interested in ancient Egypt. And it makes sense with goddess Isis. And that was like really, so I think even though there was a lot of steps to get to channel goddess Isis, but once I started channeling goddess Isis and then became a free-for-all, but that there was no turning back.
Yeah, that was the moment of no return.
That was the moment of no return.
There you go. So what drives, motivates you and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do?
So I would say it's a multi-pronged approach. I really, first of all, I'm very grateful that I'm at this level of awareness. I'm very grateful that I am connected to my spirit guides. I think it's an achievement for any individual to be connected to their spirit guides, especially you are not taught here that you have a higher self. You are not taught here that you can connect to your team and that woo-woo is bad and magic is bad and you have to stay in the lane and be Christian and you got to pray to God, right?
Yeah.
You got to do things a certain way. So I'm very grateful that I was able and was inspired by my team to break that paradigm. right? So to motivate me, what motivates me is, I would say, fear. Unfortunately, if you don't do your
Fear is a great motivator.
you're not kidding. If you don't do your soul work, you will feel it. You will be triggered. You will feel heavy. You will be overwhelmed. You will get physical things. It's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful. On the positivity side of it, you get to see a lot of magic. You get to feel more joy and be light. And you get like crazy cool connections, and you get to see the wonder and beauty of Earth and humans, and you are lighter. You are energetically, physically lighter. And what used to bother you no longer bothers you. Not because you've numbed out or you're ignoring it, it's because you've transmuted it, you've processed it, and you're way more loving, and you're way more compassionate, and you start to learn to love yourself.
Which is the key.
Yeah, it is like, you will not ascend unless you love yourself.
It's everything.
It is.
Absolutely
Self-love
everything.
is
We are the foundation for all of it.
Yes. Yes.
For
Is
sure.
there have I seen some really cool things with my human eyes? Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. Really cool stuff. It's not like I see that kind of psychic ability every day.
Yeah.
So the day to day is going into gratitude, doing my spiritual practice, clearing my field, softening my judgment. Judgment will just drag you right down.
For sure it will. And so before you became a guide for others, who or what guided you through the darkness? And how did you learn to trust your own inner compass over the outside noise, which we know can get incredibly loud?
Yes. So I would say, before I was aware, how did I get to really connecting with my spirit guides? I would say curiosity. You have to be open minded. You have to be curious. And I'm a mad researcher. So I'm a very sciencey psychic. Who studies quantum physics, self studies for 6 years? Sometimes
Not
I
many.
reflect on myself, and I'm like, you are really watching MIT videos. Like, you can really learn anything on YouTube. I swear to God. Like, it's amazing. Like, you can find obscure videos.
YouTube University.
Yeah. I'm like, MIT is on here. What? Let me see what the CERN website has on particle physics. Let me just read nih.gov on white paper. Oh my God, what's this EDU thing? And they're emailing me PDFs. Oh my God, I get access to white papers. Wait a second, in my library for free, they pay for a service that I get data that would normally cost me $20 for one paper. What? Let me tell you, you can go to libraries around the world and they have digital stuff. And now you've got Google Translate. So when I tell you I'm a mad researcher, I didn't realize I was a mad researcher, but I read white papers. And when I read white papers, I look at the citations and I check on those little humans. And I go to where they citate and I go to that book. And then I see what they wrote. And did they transcribe it? Did they switch it? Oh, yeah. Oh, when I researched deep. And I'm not so much a podcast junkie anymore, but not because I don't want to be. It's because we have a lot of projects. But when I was commuting to work, I would listen to podcasts. And I would say, your podcast and some other podcasts is awakening people, and it's empowering them. And you're empowering women. And that's important, because sometimes they're driving to work, or they're driving home, or they're even driving to Target, whatever. And they pop on your podcast, and they might not listen to the entire thing in one sitting, but they'll go back to it, or they'll listen to it. And that is planting the seed. I learned so much through podcasts too, not only reading research papers, but also listening to podcasts.
For sure.
Like I learned about heart math through a podcast talking about the
Mhm.
heart brain coherence.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe Dispenza, for
Yeah,
being on shows, right? I
for sure.
I appreciate it because you learn about other teachers or the spiritual teachers or the science behind what you consider the woo, but there's physicists now that understand that you must involve consciousness. It is not, and that's the sometimes I would, if I could tell anyone who's hearing Brad and I in this now moment, I would like for you to understand, my dear one, that please, there are parts that make up the totality of the wholeness. And so when you see something, you might only see a part of it, and that you can just pause and relax and take a breath and understand that there's way more, and it really is in love.
Love it. Thank you for sharing that. Isabel, what does spirit mean to you? Not the Instagram version, but the raw, real, ancient version.
So, spirit to me is consciousness. And we are in prime creators or source consciousness. And I think how spirit showed this to me was really nice. So I know like the science and waveforms and how things collapse, God,
Mhm.
but I think this, how it was shown to me, I was just like, oh, thank you. So imagine a red balloon. And as
Mhm.
you blow it up, you're expanding, but we're
Right.
inside that red balloon. So there is nothing outside of God. We are inside of consciousness of source, and we're inside our own consciousness. And we are a multidimensional being. And so we can access spirit of higher consciousness that are always helping and guiding us. And sometimes it's an individual consciousness or a collective, but we are all one. You can't
Mhm.
separate us from source. We are in the light. We are the light. And so that's what spirit means to me.
Beautiful. Now, what does it mean to lead spiritually in a world that often values? Because we've got all of this hustle culture bullshit, speed, noise, ego over depth and truth. So, what does it mean to lead spiritually in this world?
So, what I would say is to lead spiritually is be kind to yourself.
Again, it starts with us. We are the foundation.
Yeah, it's messy. It's not one step. I mean, it is a step together, but it's a spiral. It's front and back. It's the breath in and out. Look, when you awaken, you're going to be woken up at 3:33 a.m. You know, you're going to have tummy issues. You're going to be like, you're going to be nauseous. You're going to be dizzy. You're going to feel great one day and really heavy the next day. It's just a process for us all. And I think if we can be kind to ourselves and link our arms together and just say, it's okay. Yeah, you're an
Be
emotional.
kind to one another, for fuck's sakes.
Yes.
We have such a hard time as humans being kind to one another. A lot of people do. And it boggles my mind why this is so hard to do. It doesn't really take much to be kind to another human being. Just smile at someone, just be curious. As we've talked about curiosity, ask questions. How did you arrive at what you believe? What led you there? Just be kind to people.
Kindness, I think it was someone in the Catholic Church. I don't know. Anyways, he was doing a graduation commencement. Anyways, I loved him. But he said, being kind is a very evolved species. You're beyond your reptilian brain.
I think there needs to be a course on human kindness, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
In Connecticut, Sandy Hook happened, and
Mm.
there was Be Kind movement in Connecticut. And it was literally teaching others how to be kind. And what I would say if somebody's like, well, I want to be kind, but I don't know. I just react, or I'm too busy, or I'm too stressed out, or I'm full of anxiety and I don't have time to be kind, or I'm not feeling good. So, what I would say, you know what, pumpkin, it's okay. It's okay. If you can't be kind, it's because you're not kind to yourself. And if you're not kind to yourself, little one, you're not feeling seen, you're not feeling heard. You're this little duckling covered with mud. And so, if you want to get the mud off, we're just going to pause. We're just going to take a breath. You're not going to do anything for 1 minute, like just 1 minute. I'm not asking you to meditate. I'm asking you to just sit and maybe put your hand over your heart and just say, even though I am mad, even though I am angry, even though I can't quiet my mind, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Even if I can't see it, it's going to be okay. And I'm going to give myself just this 1 minute of peace.
There you go.
And there you go.
It starts with us. It starts with us being kind to ourselves, as you said. What parts of yourself have you had to reclaim in order to stand fully in your power as a spiritual teacher?
Oh, Brad, let me tell you. Hi, my name's Isabelle Zimmerman, and I am a full-time Ascension teacher, and I'm not enough. So let me tell you what I call a mother son of a gun. So my mother is an Aries, and she's very angry. She was raised in World War II, and she's a lioness. She's very ferocious. I say piss and vinegar. If you were crying, she'd kick you harder. That was her instinct. Oh my God, she's weak. She's weak. Let's hurt her. So that was bizarre, raising that up. But what happened was we had a fight every day in my life. In fact, I tracked it when I was old enough. And I just wanted to know if there was one day she didn't scream. And the answer is no. Whether it was with my father or my sister or myself or the clouds, it didn't matter. That's who she was. Now, she was very much a flash in the pan. But guess what happened to me? I walked on eggshells. I became the people pleaser. Oh, don't set off mom. Don't set off mom. Right. I hated conflict. Hated it. I was like, what is the point of anger? Because at the end of the anger, you're going to come to a resolution. Or you can kill your enemy, but at the end of the day, what's going to happen? Like, it's not going to go away. No. I didn't know why it wasn't going to go away, but now I do. But that's what I observed. So when Spirit told me, I didn't even know I was a people pleaser, Brad. So when Spirit told me I was a people pleaser, I went, huh? Because they kept on saying you need to put your oxygen mask first. They kept on showing me the airport with those little masks. You got to put your mask on first, then the other one. And they were like, you can't resolve everyone's fear. You're trying to fix everyone. You're trying to save everyone. And I'm like, huh? And they were like, you're a people pleaser. And I'm like, is that a thing? And sure enough, I looked up and it's like, there's books out there. I'm like, where have I been? And then anger. They're like, Isabelle, you must express your anger. And I didn't want to express my anger. I was very upset about this. I did not want to express my anger. I did not want to be like Francoise. So I wasn't going to express my anger. And then lo and behold, I had to judge anger as neutral and necessary. I had to draw storm clouds and realize anger was a release of energy. I had to figure out how to be angry and express my anger without projecting and harming. 3 years. 3 years, guys. This is not overnight shit work. This is 3 years. And when I did start to express my anger, I would be shut down because they weren't used to me being angry. And I literally had to say, I have the right to be angry. That's how I started.
Wow. It takes work. You have to be willing to put in the work, and it's not going to be an overnight fix.
Oh, God,
It takes time. It may not take 3 years. It may take a year. It may take 5 years. Who knows? It just depends on the person, but you have to have the willingness to put in the work first. And again, starting here with us, that's the start of everything. And so there's a big difference then between being seen as a spiritual teacher and being a soul-led human. What do people often get wrong about women who do the work that you do?
So I think they're all beautiful. But I would say to you that I always teach discernment. Is what they are saying loving and empowering and kind? How do you feel? If they say something, does it resonate with you? That like resonate means it like it vibrates within you, or you feel like that's the truth, or you have a knowing. If they say something that does not resonate with you, then pause, right? And I think like I was just talking to another spiritual teacher around this. And Brad, I think you probably feel the same way. But let me ask you this. When you meet someone, can you feel their vibration?
You feel a connection. Yes, absolutely. They resonate. It's the same thing when somebody says something to me. It may come from one person and it doesn't hit, or it doesn't land, or it doesn't resonate. Someone else says the exact same thing and it hits and it resonates. It just depends on the messenger. Yeah, absolutely.
And then don't you know when someone's authentic?
Yeah, I think we get a sense of that. But again, this is also doing the work to learn how to trust your intuition.
Yeah. So, yes, Isabel, Brad, have I personally met spiritual teachers that don't walk the walk and talk the talk? Yes.
Mhm.
But again, I bless them with love, and may they find their light in their journey.
Mhm.
And I just soften judgment because I constantly hear that. They are me, we are one. It is okay. But yes, as Isabel, not the spiritual teacher, but as Isabel, sometimes I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm mad. Oh, I do want to judge. I do want to be pissed. Oh my God, you haven't done your soul work. You just give lip service. You're do as I say, not as I do.
But that holds true in any realm,
Any
in
realm.
any career path or business or whatever it
Yes.
is. There's always going to be people that don't walk the walk. It's just lip service and it's bullshit. So again, it's using discernment, as you said, and not judge. Who are we to judge anybody, really?
Yeah. So this is, I said, just like, do you feel good around this person? Would you have a cup of coffee with them? Do you hang out with them? And if you wouldn't hang out for a cup of coffee, it's probably not your spiritual teacher, guys.
No,
You could just do the
definitely
coffee
not.
check.
Yeah,
Would you have them over
exactly.
your house? Would you have
Yeah.
it over your house as is? That means you don't clean, you don't pick up, you're wearing pajamas, you might even be braless for the women out there. Would you feel comfortable having this person come in? Now, for a woman to go braless and having someone to walk into their house to see their mess as is, their shambles as is, and still feel loved, that's a litany test. That's a good test. That's a really good test.
Okay. What would you say is one of your favorite kinds of spiritual rebellion? The thing that you do that breaks and disrupts the narrative.
I love when I'm not your guru. Don't listen to me. I know jack shit. Yeah, I channel spirit guides. Yes, I share the messages. Yes, I do this work. And yes, I'm an awakening teacher. But, look, I still eat meat. I'm not vegan. I'm not pure.
I think people get caught up in this thing where they become so heavily reliant upon their teachers or their coaches or whatever word you want to use, when really they are just there to provide guidance and the tools for you to develop
Yeah.
and to shift your mindset and to shift your perspectives and all of these different things, whether it be spiritual teachings or whatever it is. They are not the be all and end all. They do not have all the answers. It's just we are guides to help you on your way and on your path and reflect back to you
Yes.
what you are and who you are.
Yes.
But people become so reliant upon those spiritual teachers, leaders, mentors, coaches, again, whatever word you want to use. And that's not what they're there for.
No. And I think that what you said there, Brad, if you can shorten that and send it everywhere. Because more and more people are awakening and more, which is good because I work with spiritual teachers and healers. So more and more teachers and healers will be available to humanity, which is wonderful. And teachers are a small percentage of the overall, like star seeds and engineers and architects and all sorts of things. But that's it. We're just a guide. And we don't want to take away someone else's sovereignty. You are
very important,
responsible for your own ascension. I always say to my teachers, I cannot shit for you. I cannot eat for you. I cannot lift weights for you. You have to do it.
Yeah, for sure. So being a spiritual teacher, you hold space for people, you share things. It's a lot. It's, when you think about it, it's a lot on you as a teacher. So what practices or rituals do you follow in order to maintain your spiritual health and the effectiveness you have as a teacher or guide?
I would say, you know what's interesting, Brad? As this ascension gets stronger, I have to do my practices. Like I have to bring in the violet flame of Saint Germain every day and every night. I never used to have to do that. In my shower, when I take a shower, I also do another cleansing. And I thank all my experiences and all my feelings from the day before. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you very much. And I release. I release. And any thought forms or any things that I'm still holding within my field, I bless you. Thank you so much. I release. So every day when I take a shower, I'm releasing the day before. And I didn't have to do that. I did not have to do that. So I'm noticing that if I don't go to the gym, Brad, like I used to go for walks with my dog in the woods and like that would be grounding enough for me. But now I have to go to the gym. And if I don't go to the gym, I'm in physical pain. So I can't, like, the energies are so heavy now and moving so fast that if I don't maintain, I'm telling you guys, I'm in physical pain. I am heavy. I can't get over how fast I can go down. So I can't even imagine what the rest of humanity's feeling.
Okay. So the gym is your outlet and helps you to keep in check and keep your spiritual level.
I'm always outside in nature all the time.
Yeah.
You have to be in
well, nature always helps.
Always,
for sure.
always. So I have a dog, so like I'm still out in nature. I'm just saying I gotta add stuff
to it. Yeah.
I didn't reduce my spiritual practice. I was surprised as Isabelle that I had to add more to my spiritual practice to maintain.
Okay. Now, if your presence alone is meant to disrupt something in this world, what are you here to burn down and what are you here to build?
So, I am not a clearer. I will not burn down anything. There are other spiritual teachers and healers that are our clearers, but I will tell you what I am doing. I am an anchor. I am an architect. And let me tell you something. Right now, there is a wide net being casted over humanity. And that net is catching every size of fish, a whale, dolphin to a crab. And what I'm doing is I'm going around, I am allowing that net to be cast, but I am moving, I am pulling that net apart to the big squares so that the fish can swim through. So I am working with my spiritual teachers and healers so that they work with their students or their mission so that they're on point. So we light up more and more hearts to stay in the programming of the paradigm of the 3D construct of fear and separation and control and greed and power over others is going to have a bifurcation where it's going to split humanity And things are vibration, guys. So I don't know if this is the first time you're hearing this, so I don't mean to talk down to you or talk up to you or anything like that. Just try to convey this message that there is a time split. And so if you don't work on awakening and connecting to your guides and spirit team, and you are going to be caught in that net. And that net is energetic. And I am not the only channeler that's talking about this bifurcation.
Very powerful. I love that. Now, we talk about and we hear a lot about light and love. And as you said earlier, you are the light, you are the love, you are all of these things. But what does true power look like when it's embodied, not just spoken about?
True power is compassion. True power is empathy. True power are kisses and hugs. True power is giggles and play. True power is skipping and dancing.
Light, being light.
Being light. Yeah. And
Not light like the light, but being in a light mood, being in a light energy.
yeah, for sure. That's true
Beautiful.
power.
Okay. What are some of the most profound spiritual insights or truths that you've uncovered through your work?
Okay, here's a trippy one. Ready, Brad? Okay. So it was Yeshua who came to me, and Yeshua was saying everything is consciousness. And they did it when I first awakened. I thought everything was energy because I knew energy created matter. And then they came to me and they said, we want you to understand that everything is consciousness. So that means you can communicate to the tree, to the waters. Like everything is God's spark source. So I was just like, okay. So the trippy thing was, they said, Isabelle, you're a multidimensional being. And I'm like, okay. And they said, when you move your hand, you think you're moving. You think this is movement. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're really standing still. What you're doing is you're shifting your focus of consciousness. And it looks like your hand is moving. And I said, wait, speak into my good ear. What? And they said, think of it as frames in a movie. In one frame, the horse paws up, and the other frame, it's down. And it's a series of frames. And as the frames move, it gives the illusion of movement. And I said, okay, that's really weird because we actually say light projector in a movie. Is that like light projecting us? Wait, and you said this was a hologram. What? Wait, so I'm not moving anywhere? What? So then they showed me fireworks, and they said, imagine a column, and then you've got layers of shells, but you're looking from the bird's eye view on top of it. And so when consciousness is lit up on one shelf to another point, when you're looking from the top, it looks like it's moving, but it's only being lit up and it's still. And I'm like, guys, everything's a fucking paradox with you guys. Everything is a paradox. When they're like, Isabelle, when you have nothing, you have everything.
I get the film analogy, the frames, because that's what it is. It's just still frames put together, and movement through those still frames creates the movie, creates the illusion of this thing moving.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. So when they showed that to me, and then I like it when they tell me things first, and then I go out and then I seek it out. Is anyone else got this? Did anyone else get this message?
Did you get the memo?
Are we listening to the same radio station?
Tuning in the frequencies.
Yeah. So that, to me, that one was one of my trippy ones. I was like, what?
Okay. That's wild. I read about that in Happy Pocket Full of Money. Happy Pocket Full of Money. It talks about the film frames. Yeah, being in the present moment and just all of these things. It's wild when you think about it. So, to you, Isabel, what does it really mean to embody our higher selves? Not just in ritual, but in real world chaos, heartbreak, human messiness, because there is messiness in the human realm and life is messy.
Yeah. So I would say to you guys, I think the real trippy thing is really accepting all emotions without judgment, feeling all emotions without judgment. One of the things that started happening to me and others too is that you will feel two emotions at once. So, one of the weird ones for me was I felt sadness and joy at once. And I was like, it did freak me out a little bit. I was like, what is going on? And it's
Mm,
because you're feeling the polarity as the wholeness and the oneness. So I can feel two emotions at once of the same polarity. And so when Spirit says to me, so I thought enlightenment was like I was going to be in a good mood all the time. I wasn't going to be triggered. Like I was going to be walking on clouds,
walking on sunshine.
walking
That's
on
impossible. We
sunshine.
can't be happy all the
Yeah, I
time.
thought I was going to see unicorns. I'm
Puppy
like,
dogs, rainbows, ice cream.
yeah, I was like, Skittles is going to rain down on me. Like, this
The
is it.
unicorns are going to shit Skittles.
Yeah. I was like, yes. So Goddess Isis says to me, she's Isabel, you're actually going to feel more emotion, more intensely. Okay. Okay. And I had to sit with that one for a long time. It's not going to get lighter. It's going to get more and. So the intensity of your sorrow can be very great, but your intensity of your joy is really great. And so it's and more. And so I'm like, okay, I better get used to the frequencies of these emotions because they're not going to go away. They're only going to get more and
No,
more intense. And I'm going to become more sensitive. Okay.
it's a lot. It's a lot to digest and take in.
It is. And it's not what I thought, which listen, as Isabelle Zimmerman, I'm 100% wrong. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So embodiment of your higher self is you really understand how powerful you are. Your divine soul gifts are active. You are very connected to your team. And your ascension is basically to a varying degree, but you're all going to become Jesus if I can do a shortcut. There's other ascendant masters, but most humans have heard about Jesus.
Yeah. So, as mentioned off the top, you created the Giant Leap course series. Can you tell us about it? What was the inspiration behind creating it? What does it involve? How long is the course? Tell us all the things.
So thank you. So it was one of the projects that Spirit really wanted me to do, and they wouldn't let me do anything else. So I'm like, all right. So the giant leap is there's no wrong in the universe. And when you're awakening, you really must understand this concept that everything is balance in the universe and that all of it is for love. And so I think that giant leap of that there's no wrong in the universe is a leap, right? Because you feel the injustice, you feel the pain, you feel the suffering. And so that course is only a 45-minute video. But in that course, I bring forth near death experiences, miracles to shatter that spirit's real. That why do you want to take the giant leap course? Do you want to manifest? So some people are awakening and they just want to manifest the car, the job, or they want to feel better, right? And so that course is really going in here about unexplainable things. So Lord of France has now, I think it's 77 miracles since 1858.
Okay.
And they've got doctors. It takes 20 years to say it's a miracle, unexplained, blah, whatever. Then in that video, I also put a snippet of a session where she loses her baby. And so you hear
Mm-hmm.
her crying and she's grieving for the loss of her child. And then we go and we talk to her higher self, Castelia. And why did Castelia have that life projected or fated that she would lose that child? And it's because in the time of that time period, she wanted the woman who's now the person laying down in front of me, reborn, but that woman reached for spirituality. She wanted to be with her daughter. She was so shattered and brokenhearted that she lost her daughter and grieved her daughter, her baby, that she reached for spirituality. So why would a soul do that, right? What is the purpose of being incarnated? And so Castelia kind of shares that. And the interesting thing is that daughter that died, that baby, is now Melissa's daughter in this lifetime.
Wild.
So in that, and I think when you hear Melissa channel her higher self, Castelia, like you can tell you can tell the different consciousness. And then I break it into how to soften judgment. So a lot of spiritual teachers will say, it's for you. Everything is for you. But I find that's too big of a bite. I like to work with the ego and say, what is right about this situation? Not for you, because for you, it's true. But what is right? And sometimes they pause for a little bit because they can't see anything right about it. They can't. They're pissed. They're mad. They're hurt.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean what's right about it? But if they can break through what's right, and then there's a meditation, an audio file of how to calm down, and it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's all okay, peace. And I don't have a tremendous data set on this, but the ones who have taken that class I did get feedback that it was very helpful for them. And they still say, it's okay, it's okay, it's all okay. So they're self-regulating now. So they're calming down. Again, it's always my honor to bring forth what spirit guides me to do.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do. I create it and then I release it.
And so what is the one lesson then that you hope every single soul walks away with after completing the course series, and the truth that changes everything if they'll let it?
Soften your judgment. Everything is really neutral. Everything is really for you. There is way more going on. Your soul understands what you came here to experience. And it really is out of love, even though can be very painful.
For sure.
There are agreements.
Yeah, there's always an agreement in place. I think I've thought about this a lot in the last little while, and we sign that agreement when we come here as a soul, but I think when we enter these meat suits and become the human side of things, we forget the soul contract. We forget the soul purpose. And we forget. I think we know everything. I think we're told how long we're going to be here for, all of these things, but we forget because of conditioning and all the other things. But we do know when we first get here. It's just forgotten as we go through this human life.
That's right. And for me, one of my passions is helping spiritual teachers and healers know their purpose, or even helping different types of light workers know their purpose. Because if you know your purpose, you will now be aligned. That means you are not resisting your intended life purpose. And things start to click in place, and it's beautiful to witness, and you blossom and you learn. And I think that
you expand.
Yeah, I think
for
knowing
sure.
your purpose, if anyone, soften your judgment. I'm such a mom. Don't forget your coat, honey, and grab your cell phone. Soften your judgment and find your purpose. Like, really take time to do that.
You also created the course Ascension Now. Can you tell us about all the things Ascension Now?
So Ascension Now is the deep soul field work. Ascension Now is really doing hypnosis and going into your soul field and really learning who you are. And it's very transformative because I have a lot of spiritual teachers that will read your Akashic records and they'll tell you, but they'll read a book of you, or right, or your record, right? There's something different about experiencing that life and being connected to that level of consciousness of who you are, and then channeling your own higher selves. Like that,
Yeah.
that changes you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
How can it not?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really the Ascension Now. That's a deeper class.
Yeah. Now, ascension, the word ascension, the thought of it, it sounds beautiful and incredible. But let's get real. What are the gritty, uncomfortable, ego cracking truths that people don't talk about on the path to spiritual expansion?
Let me tell you, when I do the deeper work, I will uncover the hidden things. Like, I haven't had sex with my husband for 5 years, right? Like one of those truths.
Yeah.
And it's, oh, okay. It's all okay. It's all okay. Like, who gives a shit? But it's, to me, you know what it feels like, Brad? I don't know if you can relate to this, but it feels like you see the Facebook photos of like their happy vacation, right?
Yeah. The posturing.
The posturing. And then, like, behind the scenes, the kid was crying and screaming, and they had diarrhea and it was up their back, or, you know what I mean?
Keeping up appearances.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you do that deeper work, everything is kind of unearthed, right? Then it's fine because everything is getting transmuted and healed. But it's time to release it. And it's okay. It's okay. It's all okay.
It's part of the human experience.
Yes. Shame, guilt, rejection, abandonment. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is, for sure. Absolutely.
And then
100%.
to love it, you're like, what?
What's right for me? What's meant for me? All these things. It's all part of your journey.
Yeah. That's really what awakening is.
Believing that and stepping into it and owning it.
Yeah. Listen, and I have a lot of scared kitty cats. So I have to use little strings. I have to use the little laser. I have to shake the little pounce bag because I hide back into the little cardboard box or underneath the bed.
What do you believe that humanity is really ascending toward? And what do we need to collectively confront before we can get there?
Oh, Brad, I was just having this conversation when I read this question earlier this morning. You guys don't know this, but I texted Brad. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I love these questions. They're so awesome. I was so excited. So actually, I channeled this morning around this. We actually had a team meeting, the spirit guides and me. And listen, this ascension is not going away. There is no backsies. There is no snooze button, guys. It is going to get stronger and louder. And we're going to have to accept some of the shit we have done to each other. Okay? That means rape, child, torture, murder, power, greed. We're going to have to accept that and transmute it and soften it and forgive ourselves. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's a lot.
That's a lot, man. That's no joke. That is no joke. You're going to want to throw up. You might shake your pants.
We've been horrible to each other as
Horrible.
human beings.
And we got to own up to it. And we got to say, yep, this is what happens when you're so separated from Source's light. We explored this as a soul. God, we enslaved people. Yeah. Yeah. We really hated ourselves. We got to accept that darkness. So listen, this is what I want to say to all the kitty cats out there. It's okay. Small bites, please. Small little bites. Be easy on yourself. Gentle. You don't need to go out and fly close to the sun. Burn away all your dark.
Burn your wings. Yeah.
Gentle.
And fall like Icarus.
Yeah,
we don't need
that. And let me tell you, I've come across some spiritual teachers because they get lit up, right? And they want more. And I'm like, slow it down. Slow it. No, you're not getting the keys to the sports car. No, keys are coming back here. But that's what it is. It feels so good. You just want more and you want to consume it really fast. But it's the same with absorbing the light. You also have to absorb this darkness. So gentle, slow, guys, one bite at a time. In the US, we have Thanksgiving. Oh my God. And Brad, there's so much food. And I think the Canadians celebrate a similar holiday, but so much
we have
food,
Thanksgiving too.
right? You can't eat it all in one sitting.
No.
You can't.
So slow down.
So slow down. Enjoy it.
It's not going anywhere.
We've got plenty of dark nights of the soul.
It'll still, yes, they'll still be there for sure. So in your vision then, what role does feminine energy play in the ascension of the collective? And how are women uniquely positioned to lead that shift?
So women, so you probably have more, look, it's not a gender thing, but divine feminine do tend to be born in a feminine body, what I would say. One has both energies, divine masculine and feminine.
Yep.
The divine, so we cannot rise without the men, and the men cannot rise without the women. It is 1,000. Really hand in hand, guys. And the divine feminine energy is because, look, the men have it rough too, as well as the women. The women were shut down, don't speak, shut up, objectified, bred for children. Don't practice magic, you'll be burned at the stake. Don't be woo, don't be intuitive, don't read, don't be smart. There's a lot of programming around that for the divine feminine. Don't be sexual. Don't be erotic. Right?
Don't be too loud.
Don't be too loud. But the men, unfortunately, also, they've had it rough also, right? They're like, if you're a manly man, this is what it looks like. They can't be.
Don't have emotions. Don't talk about your feelings. All of this shit.
I think the men have it. I think the feminine and the masculine energy are toxic, are scared. And there's just a lot of work to be done.
I love that you said that we need to, because I've been saying this for a long time, is that the only way that anything of consequence is going to get done or change is if we realize both men and women need to do it together. There is no other way.
There's no other way.
Men cannot, all the men in the world can't do it, and all the women in the world can't do it alone. We have to join hands, stand shoulder to shoulder, and do the work together. That is the only fucking way anything is going to change, is when both sides realize that, when both men and women realize that. And we need to stop with the labels and masculine versus feminine warring and all of this bullshit. It gets us nowhere. So we need to come together as human beings. Let's lose the labels. Let's just call ourselves human beings and let's just get the shit done, period.
Yeah. So the kitty cat string that I use and the laser to get the kitty cats out is divine union. Because everyone wants that divine union, that safety, that love is a sanctuary. And so to be in partnership with your partner of divine union, of masculine and feminine, you're going to have to learn how to combine those energies, how to soften and love it and accept and rise together.
For sure. It's the only way.
It's the only way.
If your soul could speak directly to humanity right now, without fear, filter, or limitation, what message would it scream from the mountaintops?
So funny. I heard them. Connect to your guides. This life matters. You're important. Okay. We're in the grand awakening.
All right. There you go. You heard it. Connect to your guides. We all have the ability and the power and the gifts within us to do that. It's just having, first of all, the self-awareness that it's there. Second of all, doing the work to uncover and unearth those gifts and start using them for good, for things like that.
Yeah. And this is a very important life. So I've done over 1,000 sessions of soul field work. And what's really interesting is talking to so many higher selves and so many spirit guides and channeling, but there's not many planets ascending. This is a rarity in that 14.5 million galaxies out there. There's still not a lot of planets shifting the level of consciousness. So the fact that you are here born during this time, this gift, this rarity. Listen, there are times where I do not want to wake up. I am done. I think this planet is crazy and heavy
Yep.
and sometimes, but I do know this is a gift to be here during the
For sure.
awakening.
During
This
time
time is very rare.
it's the greatest time on earth to be alive. And yes, there's a lot of darkness, there's a lot of shit, but I really wholeheartedly believe that there is way more light than darkness.
There
is. I just think that we are thrust into the darkness because of social media, because of the media. That's all they show us. That's what they like to show us, because that gets likes, that gets clicks, that gets attention of people. But there is far more good and light in the world than there is darkness. 1000%.
There is. And careful with the media, guys, and you guys can research it, but if you research it, there's only 4 families that own all the media in the world. So I just want to share that with you, and you can verify that. Don't believe Isabelle Zimmerman. You can verify it. But isn't that interesting that there's only 4 companies and families that control that media? So just take it with a grain of salt, pumpkins. Go chase that little string and look for that laser.
For sure. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I think my superpower is like my sense of humor, using analogies, and my heart, of course.
Okay. Speaking of success, how do you define that word? What does success mean to you?
Success to me is really walking the walk, talking the talk, and being open-hearted, and really being strong in love. And it's okay to feel fear. It's okay. But it's not true.
Discernment.
Yeah.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment is, for me personally, as Isabelle, empowerment is really embodying my higher self as Isabelle in human form. So that's empowerment. That's to be really fully activated and being an ascended master, knowing that I am a god and feeling it. And I'm not there, guys. I am not there. I am not there. But it's a process. It's a process.
Okay, we're going to jump into the little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3 word answer type thing. Okay. How would you describe yourself in one word?
Funny.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Meditating.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Connect with your fucking guides.
Plainly put, period. That's it. What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
One thing I want, but you can't buy love, but I feel a lot of love. So do I want that? I don't know.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
My heart.
What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
My heart.
What is one word that defines the woman you're becoming?
My heart.
All right. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I created a bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time.
Okay.
If you could take one feeling or belief, bottle it up, and give it to people, what would it be?
You are loved.
Okay, this question is a brand new question I brought into the fold. I've never asked anyone this question before. You were the first person.
Okay.
And I absolutely love this question. If you were to introduce yourself to me without mentioning your occupation, where you're from, your ethnicity, your nationality, where you grew up, what your hobbies are, what your religion is, all these superficial bullshit markers and titles that we use in our day-to-day life, how would you introduce yourself to me? How would you describe yourself to me?
I would say, hi, Brad. My name is Isabelle Zimmerman, and this is how I like to play. So I talk to spirit guides, and I like deep conversations, and I puzzle, and you want to come over and puzzle.
All right. If you could step into my shoes, what is the one question you would ask yourself that I didn't ask you?
Is magic real?
Okay. Is magic real?
Yes. Yes. Thank God.
If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world.
I would. I talk to Isis all the time. I would like to talk to Mary Magdalene. I know I can reach out to her and channel, but I think I would like to one-on-one talk to Mary Magdalene. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? She created the Sophia Code and the roses, and I know Goddess Isis was her mentor, but I would like to just talk to her okay, how was it traveling with your divine union partner? And how was it going from town to town and the woman of that day? What did you do for your period? Did you really wear rags? What is that? And where did you go to poop? And was camping a thing? You chose out of all the timelines, Mary Magdalene, that's the time you chose. What's up with that? Yeah, that's what I would, those would be the questions
All right.
I would ask.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
That I am a beautiful soul, and one day I will experience magic. So don't give up.
Beautiful. Lastly, Isabelle, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your world, your corner of the world, your people, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
I would say, everyone, please connect with your heart and reach for my heart in this now moment. And I want you to feel the magnificence that you are. I want you to feel your bravery and courage. I want you to feel your heart. And it is an honor to be here walking with you in this now, in this journey. And I love you all. Thank you.
Beautiful way to end the interview. Thank you very much, Isabelle, for taking and making the time to be here with me today, for sharing all of your insights, your beautiful wisdom, knowledge, and experience. It has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I have enjoyed every moment of our conversation. Thank you for your openness, your vulnerability, and willingness to share. I am honored to have had the opportunity to sit down and speak with you. Thank you. I am honored to have you as a member of the Empowerography community and to call you a friend. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Thank you for doing the work that you do. It's so important. I see it energetically. You are touching so many lives. And I know I've got goosebumps, but truth bumps, right?
Yeah.
But you are a friend and you can call me anytime and you'll be like, hey, this is the shit that I'm hearing from spirit. I'd be like, dude, I know. What's up with that? Call me anytime.
Thank you so much, Isabelle. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Isabelle Zimmerman. She is a spiritual teacher, a soul guide, the creator of the Giant Leap course series and Ascension Now. Thank you so much, Isabelle. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca. Follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.